Hey, ho, the holly. This life is most jolly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. Sorry that we missed last week. We had low turnout, and I wasn't feeling well, so we decided to postpone until this week. But you know, hoping it's worth the wait. That myself, Maggie, John, and Bill can all entertain you guys with our impromptu performances of the works of Shakespeare, chosen at random by the Wheel of Shakespeare, which I'm bringing up right now onto the screen. Here we go. And oops, I shared the wrong. Shared the wrong tab. Um, there we go. And so, based on the order chosen in advance, I will be the first performer today, and then John is on deck. John will perform after I do. Spinning for myself. First monologue today will be John of John. Ooh. Okay. Methinks I am a prophet new inspired, and thus expiring do foretell of him. His rash fierce blaze of riot cannot last, for violent fires soon burn out themselves. Small showers last long, but sudden storms are short. He tires becomes that spurs too fast betimes, with eager feeding food doth choke the feeder. Like vanity, insatiate cormorant, consuming means soon preys upon itself. This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden, demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war, this happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in the silver sea, which serves in the office of a wall, or as a moat defensive to a house against the envy of less happier hands. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, this nurse, this teeming womb of royal kings, feared by their breed and famous by their birth, renowned for their deeds, is far from home for Christian service and true chivalry, as is a sepulchre and stubborn Jewry. The world's ransom, blessed Mary's son, the land of such dear souls. This dear, dear land, dear for her reputation to the world, is now leased out. I die pronouncing it. Like to a tenement or pelting farm, England, bound in with triumphant sea, whose rocky shore beats back the envious siege of watery Neptune, is now bound in with shame, with inky blots and rotten parchment bonds. That England, that was wont to conquer others, hath made a shameful conquest of itself. Ah, would the scandal vanish with my life, how happy then were my ensuing death. Okay. So, John, you're up, and your monologue will be. Music for the Feet of Wild is the opening of Twelfth Night.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
Okay. If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting the appetite may sicken and so die. That strain again, it had a dying fall. Oh, it came o'er my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. O Spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea, naught enters there, of what validity and pitch soe'er, but falls into abatement and low price, even in a minute, so full of shapes is fancy that it alone is high fantastical.
Okay, thanks, John. All right, next up we have Maggie and then Bill, and there's only four of us, so I think let's go ahead and, especially having missed last week, let's do 2 rounds of monologues before we spin for scenes. So do Maggie, then Bill, and then we'll go back to myself for the next round of monologue. Okay, Maggie's first monologue is going to be.
Sorry, I like to look it up, write it down.
Oh, what a road! Is Hamlet's Act 2 monologue. The end of one
Act
of the
2, scene 2. It's way down there.
Yeah, it's one of the longest scenes in any of his plays, but it's at the very end of it after the players have left.
Okay.
Now I am alone. Oh, what a road!
That's interesting. We've been reading Troilus and Cressida in the, and it has a lot of scenes with 250, 350 lines. They're pretty long. Okay, it's Act 2, Scene 1, was it? I'm sorry.
Act 2, Scene 2.
Scene 2, and it's way at the end.
From the point where the players leave. Now I am alone, a rogue and peasant slave am I. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage waned, tears in his eyes, distraction in aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit? And all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, peak like Jana dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs? Who does me this? Ha! Swoons, I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere I should have fatted all the region's kites with this slave's awful, bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I! This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Fie upon it! Pho! About my brain! I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tend him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Love that one. Okay, do Bill for his first monologue, and then we'll go back to myself and do the second round of monologues. Okay, welcome back, Bill. You're going to be doing What angel shall bless this unworthy husband? All's well that ends well. Act 3, Scene 4.
What angel shall bless? What angel? Okay. What angel shall bless this unworthy husband? He cannot thrive unless her prayers, whom heaven delights to hear and loves to grant, reprieve him from the wrath of greatest justice. Right, Rinaldo, to this unworthy husband of his wife. Let every word weigh heavy of her worth, that he does weigh too light. My greatest grief. Though little he do feel it, yet set down sharply, dispatch the most convenient messenger. When haply he shall hear that she is gone, he will return, and hope I may that she, hearing so much, will speed her foot again. Led hither by pure love, which of them both is dearest to me? I have no skill in sense to make decision. Provide this messenger. My heart is heavy, and mine age is weak. Grief would have tears, and sorrow bids me speak.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Okay, back to myself for the second, we'll begin the second round of monologues. I'll do my second monologue, and then John is on deck. He will go after I do. What do we have in store for me next? Richmond, the closing victory speech at the end of Richard III. Fix that typo there. Here we go. Inter their bodies as becomes their births. Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers fled that in submission will return to us. And then, as we obtain the sacrament, we will unite the white rose and the red. Smile heaven upon this fair conjunction that long have frowned upon their enmity. What traitors hears me and says not amen? England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered by his own son. The son compelled been butcher to the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster, divided in their dire division. Oh, now, let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance conjoin together. And let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth-faced peace, with smiling plenty and fair prosperous days. Abate the edge of traitors, gracious Lord, that would reduce these bloody days again, and make poor England weep in streams of blood. Let them not live to taste this land's increase, that would with treason wound this fair land's peace. Now, civil wounds are stopped, peace lives again, that she may long live here. God say amen. All right, that was fun. That was something totally new for me. All right, back to John. His next monologue is going to be John, and then Maggie is on deck. There's Yago. I hate some more. It's the Othello Act 1, Scene 3. It's at the very end of it's another very long scene that comes at the very end after everyone else has left. Thus do I ever make my fool my purse is how it begins. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm having trouble here getting back to the main page. Oh, I got it now. Okay. What is it again? 1-3, okay. Okay, oops.
Act 1, Scene 3, it's toward the very end.
Made a mistake. Okay, Othello 1, 3, at the end. Okay. Thus do I ever made my fool my purse. For I mine own gain knowledge should profane, if I would time expend with such a snipe. But for my sport and profit, I hate the Moor. And it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he had done my office. I know not if it be true, but I, for mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if it for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man, let me see now, to get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see. After some time, to abuse Othello's ear that he is too familiar with his wife. He hath a person any smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women false. The Moor is of a free and open nature, that thinks men honest that but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as S's are. I have it. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
Awesome. What a great villain. All right, back to Maggie. Your next monologue is going to be Little Barbus. I will tell you the bard to the Antony and Cleopatra, Act 2, Scene 2. And I believe that's how it begins. I will tell you the bard she.
Yeah. I know of that one.
Okay, so whenever you're ready.
It doesn't actually start the scene. If it's 2-2, Act 2, Scene 2, that's what I wrote. Sorry, Unibarb. There's a lot of characters in this scene, actually. Mark Antony, Octavius. Oh, golly. Agrippa. I'm looking. Well, this is a long one. I'm up to over 200 lines. Dominus Enobarbus. Oh, okay. Here we are. There are two parts to it. I'm going to skip one character's lines. I will tell you. The barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burned on the water. The poop was beaten gold, purple the sails, and so perfumed that the winds were lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster as amorous of their strokes. For her own person, it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold of tissue, or picturing the Venus where we see the fancy outwork nature. On each side her stood pretty dimpled boys, like smiling cupids, with divers colored fans, whose wind did seem to glow the delicate cheeks which they did cool, and what they undid, did. Her gentlewomen, like the Nereides, so many mermaids, tended her in the eyes, and made their bends adornings. At the helm, a seeming mermaid steers. The silken tackle swell with the touches of those flower-soft hands that rarely frame the office. From the barge, a strange, invisible perfume hits the sense of the adjacent wharfs. The city cast her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which, but for vacancy, had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in nature. Upon her landing, Antony sent to her, invited her to supper. She replied, it should be better he became her guest, which she entreated. Our courteous Antony, whom ne'er the word of no woman heard speak, being barbered 10 times over, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary pays his heart for what his eyes eat only. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maggie. So our final monologue before we spin for scenes will be Bill with his second monologue of the day. And he's going to do Juliet. Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 2.
Act 3, Scene 2.
So this is your retort to the nurse. So whenever you're ready.
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? For my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, 3 hours' wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you, mistaking, offer up to joy. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I forget it fain. But oh, it presses to my memory, like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished, that one word banished hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sorrow, woe, delights, and fellowship and needy will be ranked with other griefs. Why followed not when she said, Tybalt is dead, thy father or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern lamentations might have moved, that with a rear word following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo and Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure, bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where's my father and my mother, nurse?
Okay, thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody, for your good work on the monologues today. Now we're ready for some scenes. Let's spin to get a couple scenes to create roles for the four of us. First, we have Measure for Measure, Claudio and Lucio, that's Act 1, Scene 2. Claudio and Lucio. Juliet and the nurse. That's Act 2, Scene 5. Let's see. Okay, so the four roles for the four of us again. Claudio, Lucio in Act 1, Scene 2 of Measure for Measure, Juliet and the nurse in Act 2, Scene 5 of Romeo and Juliet. Let's see. I went first. I'll take Lucio. John, what would you like?
Juliet.
John's going to take Juliet. Maggie, what would you like?
I guess I'll try Claudio.
Okay. So
Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking John said nurse. I'll take the nurse, please.
Okay. So John and Maggie are going to do Juliet and the nurse, and then so that means myself and Bill will do Lucio and Claudio. Okay, let's find that. It's Act 1, Scene 2 of Measure for Measure. Let's see. So Lucio's talking with the first and second gentleman. Let's see where Claudio comes in.
Why, how now, Claudio? Is that the one?
And Mistress, I'm still Mistress Overton. Oh yeah, so re-enter. It looks like So that looks like where we'll start from. Re-enter Lucio and two gentlemen. Yeah. Why? How now, Claudio? So all right. So that's we're at the same place.
Who's playing what?
I'm Lucio. You're Claudio.
Okay.
Why? How now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
From too much liberty, my Lucio. Liberty. As surfeit is the father of much fast, so every scope by the immoderate use turns to restraint. Our natures do pursue like rats that raven down their proper bane, a thirsty evil, and when they drink, we die. And when we drink, we die.
If I could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors, and yet to say the truth, I had as lief have the foppery of freedom as the morality of imprisonment. What's thy offense, Claudio?
But what but to speak of would offend again?
What is murder?
No?
Lechery?
Call it so. Oh, one word, good friend, Lucio, a word with you.
100, if they'll do you any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Thus stands it with me. Upon a true contract, I got possession of Julietta's bed. You know the lady. She is fast my wife, save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to, only for propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love till time had made them for us. But it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment with character too gross is writ on Juliet.
With child, perhaps?
Unhappily, even so. And the new deputy now for the Duke, whether it be the fault and glimpse of newness, or whether that the body politic be a horse whereon the governor doth ride, who newly in his seat, that it may know he can command, lets it straight feel the spur. Whether the tyranny be in his place or in his eminence that fills it up, I stagger in. But this new governor awakes me all the enrolled penalties which have like unscoured armor hung by the wall so long that 19 zodiacs have gone round and none of them been worn. And for a name, now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. 'Tis surely for a name.
I warrant it is, and thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duke and appeal to him.
I have done so, but he's not to be found. I pray thee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state. Implore her in my voice that she make friends to the strict deputy, bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect such as move men. Beside, she hath prosperous art when she will play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade.
I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like, which else would stand under grievous imposition, as for the enjoying of thy life, who I would be sorry should be thus foolishly lost in a game of tic-tac. I'll to her.
I thank you, good friend Lucio.
Within 2 hours.
Come, officer, away.
Still okay. So now we have John and Maggie are going to be Juliet and the nurse. Create an event. Have you both found where to start from and you're ready to go?
I have it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Whenever
Yeah,
you're ready.
Okay.
You know, well, hang on just a second, because for some reason it sounds like I'm echoing, which wasn't happening before.
That you're what?
But it sounds to me like I'm echoing. Okay, I think that's gone now. Maybe it was because there were three of us here. Okay, I'm okay now.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, good sweet nurse. O Lord, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am aweary. Give me leave a while. Oh, fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunts have I.
I would thou hadst my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath? Oh,
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath?
oh.
The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo! No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, and yet his leg excels all men's. And for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I. It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. Oh, my back, t'other side. Oh, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
I'faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like a gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward do your messages yourself.
How such a coil? Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence' cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder, by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil and your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
High to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
Hey, great job, you two. Great job, everybody, today. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you for those that were watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our performances and that you'll tune in to future rounds. Speaking of future rounds, I wanted to mention, you know, between now there's Thanksgiving coming up. I'm not entirely sure what plans I have with family. If I'm gonna, I know on Thanksgiving Day itself, but if am I going to be away? I know a lot of people Thanksgiving it becomes a 4-day weekend, so they're going to be away. So I don't know if that means too many people that ordinarily would come are not going to be able to participate. But I'm just going to I'll put an email out to the group who are on our mailing list and see what everyone thinks. So if too many people can't, if hardly anybody's going to be able to make it next week, we'll just do it 2 weeks from today. But um, we'll get back to you on whether or not it's going to be a week from today or 2 weeks from today. But other than that, just remember, except for holidays or other things, canceling it every Saturday at the same time. See you guys for the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. Hope you guys continue watching, people continue participating, and enjoy the performances. I'll see you guys either next week or the week after, based on what people tell me about their availability with the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care.